So, Lanny, can you tell us what happened with your meeting with the sheriff and maybe who you met with?
Yes, I met with police Deputy Chief Robert Fonzii, and I can't think of the other guy, John Garanti or something, and then Deputy Chief Cook, who is head of the Special Investigations Bureau or something like that, which is head of narcotics. And we talked about the medical marijuana ordinance that isn't getting done here in San Bernardino County, and I explained to them that at the last meeting that the patients went to on May 25th, after the meeting, we spoke with Supervisor Josie Gonzalez, who told us that nothing's going to get through the Board of Supervisors until the sheriff says it can, in regards to this issue of medical marijuana ordinances. And so I called up Deputy Chief Robert Fonzii because I'd had a meeting with him a year ago, shortly after San Bernardino County lost their lawsuit before the U.S. Supreme Court. And since he was my only contact in the sheriff's office, I called him up and he agreed to meet with me, and he brought Deputy Chief Cook in. And they talked about the fact that how badly the law is written. They suggested we go talk to state legislatures and get them to redo the law, not particularly a realistic suggestion. Then they talked about how some people had taken advantage of the law and are distributing illegally, and they brought up the Russian mafia and all this kind of stuff. They feel that there's going to be a lot of criminal behavior out there, and I pointed out, well, that's why you have licensing requirements and rules and regulations to make it more difficult for people to operate outside the law. And I pointed out that Palm Springs has passed an ordinance, and I also passed out a number of other cities like West Hollywood and Oakland have passed ordinances, and then one of the officers says, well, they're having lots of problems. And when I said, what are the problems, he couldn't get very specific. He just said they're having lots of problems. So I thought I might call up some of the people I know in the city of Oakland and see what kind of problems they're having. I was not aware of it. I pointed out that the Los Angeles Times did an article on the West Hollywood medical marijuana ordinance, and it was reported with glowing reports that everybody thought it was excellent. Even a school that apparently was right next door to a collective said they did not have any problems. So I don't know whether they're just pulling my leg or just making it. The fact is, the matter is, I don't believe ordinances that are properly written, and the ones like they have in Oakland and West Hollywood, are causing any problems. And it'll be interesting to see about Palm Springs ordinance. I pointed out that Palm Springs was the only city in the Inland Empire, and then they asked me why. You think that I thought that Palm Springs was the only city? Why did they do it? And I told them, well, the reason Palm Springs passed why they did and nobody else is because 3 of the 5 members of the Palm Springs City Council are gay. And where you have gay people, you're going to have marijuana available. What's going on here? I said, one of the reasons is because gay people are very aware of the AIDS epidemic. They all have friends who have contracted AIDS, and 1/3 or more of AIDS patients find cannabis to be an absolute lifesaver. That it makes their lives livable and helps them stay alive, and that's one of the reasons why we have gay people running the city. You're going to have marijuana because they know just how beneficial it is with their people, friends that they know. And
I bet they like to hear that.
Well, they didn't know quite how to answer that question.
Right.
So to get to the point, what I said, the reason I'm here though isn't to work out an ordinance with you. I said we want to get this thing back on track, and I said I'd like to see happen what was done in Palm Springs. I said they had a medical marijuana task force. I was a member on that task force. I sat up for over a year, and this task force was made up of the chief of police, the deputy chief of police, the city attorney, the city manager, planning department staff, and patients, and 2 city council members sat on it as well, although only usually 1 city council member normally attended, sometimes both were there. And this task force met just about once a month, and each month the planning department would come and report on the progress and seek input from the task force, law enforcement, patients, and so on the drafting of the ordinance. And I believe that's why, even though it took a year, Palm Springs was able to create an ordinance. Now, I don't think it should take San Bernardino County that long. First of all, they've been working on it for a year already.
Have they been working on it?
Well, they've been having these meetings ever since last June. So it's been a year's worth of meetings. They've had 6 meetings. And they're supposed to have one tomorrow, I was informed, and I imagine this is going to be talked about.
Are we not invited to that?
No, we're not invited to that. Although when Mr. Cook said he wasn't going to be able to make the meeting, I asked if I could take his place. That elicited some chuckles.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So anyway, and the task force worked. The ordinance was passed. As I pointed out, I thought the ordinance in Palm Springs was overly restrictive, but we can live with it. It will work. And we need to have some kind of ordinance here, and only when the task force is created. So anyway, they're going to go talk to everybody they have to talk to about creating this task force, and Deputy Chief Cook said that he would get back to me next week. I mean, I love that, when they actually give me a timetable. I hate it when they say, we'll get you back to you, but I'm not sure when. He said he would get back to me next week.
Well, it's on YouTube, so you can't say he didn't.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. If anybody wants to call me and find out if Deputy Chief Cook got back to me next week, you can call 760-799-2055, or you can send an email to Lanny@marijuananews.org and say, hey, Lanny, did Deputy Chief Cook get back to you? And I'll send you an email saying yes or no.